That's really cute. Cute little background, that. Story time. Louise North. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new, then good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and welcome. As you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, I'm going to be talking about my second year experience working at Thorpe Park as a scare actor. If you've never been to Thorpe Park and you've never been in a scare maze and you don't want any spoilers, maybe might not be a video for you. I'm not going to be spoiling too much because I do want to still have that, you know, the magic and the experience kept in. Just thought that I would do my second year as Thorpe Park have reopened for 2020. Thought that I would do like my little experience so that you can see what it's like working in a scare maze as a scare actor. This was in 2019, so this was last year. I have done my first experience as a scare actor, which will be coming up at the top, so you can click that little link and it will take you to that video if you want to see that one as well. If you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to keep notified whenever I upload new videos. My first year was completely different to my second, so that's why I thought I would do another video explaining that. I've got like my book down here. This is like Read with Louise. Just bullet points of just like little bits to kind of talk about. So if you do have any other questions at the end of the video, please leave them in the comment section down below and I will try and answer them. We're going to start with the auditions just because that is the main start to how to get into scare acting in the first place. They are very different. So again, I've done a video on how the whole audition process goes down. Click that link if you want to see that because it's crazy. When I did my first year acting there, I was actually late. I had 3 weeks or even 2 weeks of just doing scare acting. That's how late I was into the process. I didn't even realise there was jobs going on, but I still was able to actually get a place and still be involved. But I was literally like last minute. For my second year, I actually was on it this time. So I was at the start with everyone else. So for this audition, there was about maybe 20 to 30 of us. Yeah, maybe 20. Whereas last time it was only 4. So it was a lot more different experience. Obviously, giving the current situations of the world, they will probably not be doing massive group auditions and it will probably be limited to around 5 to 10 if they are doing any scare acting auditions this coming Halloween. Does that make sense? So once I have landed the audition, we then started rehearsals pretty much straight away. We got told that we had got the job. And when I did my first year, I barely had any rehearsals because there wasn't really time. I had a walkthrough, a bit of training, tests. This time I actually got to rehearse. So the rehearsals are really good. Again, I did like a draw with me to explain my experience as a scare actor. So I will leave that link at the top as well if you want to see that. I got to see everyone that we're going to be working with in our maze. So you get to know everyone before you're put into the maze. Then we're going to move on to makeup for my second year. It depends on what maze that you are put in. Obviously, it depends on what makeup looks you're going to be doing. I ended up being in platform 16. So I've just rewatched all of the footage back and realised that I was calling it platform 16 the whole entire time. So it's platform 15. So every time I say platform 16, just ignore that. It's been a while, like I said. It's platform 15. But yeah, enjoy the video. If they're doing it this year or whenever, I would recommend you go into it if it's still there. If it's not, sorry. But it was really good. Again, spoilers from this point onwards. Maybe. Had like characters where we had to play like ghost-like characters, so very minimum makeup. We had a character, what were they called? Sleepers. We had a character called Sleepers, or a sleeper. We literally were just covered in like black oil. We had it coming from our eyes, from our mouth. That was probably one of my favourite looks. So yeah, it depends on what characters you get to play or what maze you end up in will define what makeup look you will have to do. They do supply makeup there, special effects, and the minimum acquired makeup for the makeup look, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to be popping up some pictures here of different makeup looks that I had to create for this maze. So every day was a different day. You could always switch it up, you can add different things, you can play around with it, try and do different looks for your characters, make it really creepy. So if you've never been to Thorpe Park before, this scare maze called Platform 16 is the biggest maze I think it's the biggest maze ever done at Thorpe Park. Don't quote me on that. Normally a maze will take around 5 to 10 minutes to complete. This one takes around 10 to 15 minutes to complete. Yeah, the longest maze I've ever worked in. But yeah, it was really, really fun because you've got loads of different stages to this maze. I'm not going to go too into detail of what to expect in this maze because again, I don't want to do too many spoilers. But yeah, it's a very long maze. So if you're not one for walking, maybe don't go on this one. Stages of this maze, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are about 6 stages to this maze. When I say stages, I mean different parts of where you will be interacting with actors in the maze. So for me, I had different parts of this maze that I would do every day. The first year acting experience is a lot smaller, the maze that I was put in. This one is a lot bigger and I had to get used to that, and yeah, it was really, really fun. So I actually played three different characters for this maze. Like every time you get your part, you don't stay in that one area. You will go and tag people during the maze so that you can all kind of switch and you're not stuck in the same position all day. We had a tour guide, which is like the front, during the middle and at the end of the maze. Then you've got our passengers, which are the ghost-like characters, mainly the middle. And you had our sleepers, which were right near the end of the maze because they were like the sinister ones. So, you know, save the best till last. Now, our maze was an outside maze, apart from two little spaces, which I'm going to talk about because they're freakies. If you're wondering, oh, if it rains, like, do you still have to act? We still do have to act. And some days I felt like my fingers were going to not move. The rain got so cold. Obviously, if it gets torrential rain or temperatures drop like rapidly, they're going to look at your health and safety and think, no, we can't carry on like this, you need to come inside, obviously. But if it's just raining, you know, it's just rain, like they're not going to stop you from doing it. Some of the roles did require basically just standing still. So that wasn't the best part about it. At the start of the maze, there is this one character, the tour guide, and you literally have to have a straight face throughout the whole. Basically, that is your character. It's just like this. Like during rehearsals, we actually had to get used to that because when you're at the start of the maze, the queue is actually outside as well. So everyone can see you that are queuing up. So everyone's staring at you. You've got people trying to get you out of your role, making funny faces, and I've got to be like, you know how hard that is sometimes. I laugh quite easily, so I sometimes had to turn around and just like itch my head. That sometimes was hard if it was raining because I literally had to keep a straight face and people trying to make me laugh, and I was cold and tired. It was a little bit different, but it was still fun because we were also sometimes trying to make each other laugh, and that was really fun. I've also got a topic called dark/scary. Obviously it gets dark during Halloween because it's, you know, winter. The maze that we were in was right next to this like walkway. Obviously there were fences, but it was right next to a walkway where people around the island of Thorpe Park might have a little walk, a little stroll, and it had a fence, and then there were loads and loads of trees, and then there was another part of our maze that had like rocks, like loads of rocks all up it. I swear I was seeing things. So trees would like make weird noises. You've also got the sound effects. You've also got people walking that you don't even know who it is. I would hear certain things. It was scary. It's scary, but I actually don't really like horror films, but yeah, I would be in one. It depends on your scare level. Please do not go into a scare maze if you are someone who has reactions like this. You know, like if you get scared and you think you're gonna like hit someone, just don't go in them. We are still human and we are just doing our jobs. We're not there to harm anyone, so we're not actually going to actually attack you. That's not what our job is. And we do have, unfortunately, sometimes you will get guests that come in and their reaction is to hit back. Fair enough, that is your reaction, but just don't go in the mazes because you can actually hurt someone, and we're just doing our job at the end of the day. So keep your arms, sellotape your arms to your body. If you still want to experience it, keep it all in. Please just don't go in them. Again, I've just said this, I'm gonna shut up. Now, sticking with the theme scary, there is a part in our maze where we go through a dark, pitch black in the evenings tunnel. See, sometimes when you're in it, it seems a lot longer, but I think it ranged from about more than 3 meters. Oh, I bet it's like 5 meters. It's actually 100 meters long. I'm just not that good at maths, so yeah, 100 metres. It was a long tunnel. So it was like tarpauling, plastic sheeting, anything. You know what I'm talking about. I'll put a picture here if I can find one so you can actually visualise what it looked like. That's the best part though. That is honestly the best part of the maze. Like if you're there for adrenaline rush and you're there to get scared, the maze is the best part. I mean, the tunnel is the best part. Get little flashlights, so obviously just to like flash every now and then. But when you were on your own in that part, it scared me. It scared me a lot. And I actually got so like, when I could hear guests coming, I was like, thank you. You aren't obviously on your own. You have got other people, but they're just not right next to you. And obviously it's a tunnel. So you haven't got that much space anywhere to scare. So I had to do a lot of scaring as the guests were coming to me. Like I would run at them and then disappear, because I didn't want to get too close. I was scared that obviously, because it's such a small area anyway, even the nudge might like hurt by accident. You can't see anything in there, so you really kind of have to keep yourself. And I would do like noises, like kind of to touch like the back of their neck or touch the back of their arm to freak them out, rather than like impact scares, because we're not going to do that in a small space. And then that kind of wraps up everything to do with my experience in my second year of acting. Another kind of, it's not really a spoiler because, you know, probably you can guess here what happens at the end of a year. What's going on? A party. So I got to go to this year's, which was 2019's leaving party, which was really fun. Again, I'm not going to tell you what goes on, because I'll leave that for you to, you know, if you go and work at Thorpe Park, you can experience it. I did watch Jack Silkstone, who does, mainly his videos are about theme parks, and he does a lot on Thorpe Park. He did a, not interview, but he was interviewing this guy that was working at Thorpe, who does work at Thorpe Park. And they asked the question of, do you think Fright Nights will be back this year? And he responded with basically, yeah. He said obviously it's not going to be the same as it has been due to certain situations. He did say that they are in plan. So who knows, I might be there this year, I might not be. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for thank you for getting me to 500 plus subscribers. It means so much to me. Hope you're staying safe, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.